Hey.
Hey, we just saw a movie.
Yo.
Yeah. Wasn't that Britney Spears or whatever?
I don't know.
One of those boy bands, single girl
I thought you were
bands.
going to go, yeah.
Not Flaming Lips.
Hey, this is Michelle.
It's Josh.
We just saw a movie.
Yes, this is Hey, we just saw a movie. We just saw a movie.
Movie.
Mango. All
Hashtag movie.
that stuff. Wow, very inventive hashtag.
Yes. I have my hashtag game. My hashtag game is lit.
Wow, you sound middle-aged.
I'm super old. I'm not, though.
That's what old people say.
I refuse. I'm not old.
I'm super old. Oh, I'm not actually. I was
Josh
just joking.
keeps saying that we're middle-aged.
I'm saying you're middle-aged.
We're the same age
You're older than me.
by a few months.
You're still older than
You're
me.
going to catch up in less than a month.
You don't even know when my birthday is?
So,
You have to fake.
I
wiggle your
do.
hand
I
around?
was being dramatic.
You're always being dramatic.
We are not middle-aged. So there.
That's what old people say. That's what you would say. Old person says what? So, what have you been up to? Huh?
Same stuff as you, I guess.
No, you
I've
haven't.
been in the same apartment.
You've been up to the same stuff as me.
No, I guess you're right.
You've been doing Fender play and trying to
No.
figure out how to play a open C chord.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Don't ever try to act like you understand my life. Can't just switch from G to C.
What have I been up to? I worked today, even though today was Memorial Day.
You know what's weird? Sorry to cut you
People
off.
take off this day, but I
But
did
I have
not.
a thought, and my thought
Yes.
supersedes all things.
Okay.
I was trying to text somebody, and I was like, nope. And then I was like, and I just didn't even bring it up. I don't
No,
even
you
know.
can't.
Like, it's
I mean-
weird that we all are like, Memorial Day, yay, 3-day weekend. Let's go to the beach. Let's go get drunk.
People
Let's go
all day
whatever people
say Happy Memorial Day.
do. Yeah.
And I cringe every time. I just don't. I can't do it. I can't participate in the Happy Memorial
Right.
Day. I will take a moment. I will remember, and take a moment to acknowledge the significance of the day. But it's not really one of those like ones
Right.
that you don't buy a card for this holiday.
Right.
I don't think like you don't. It shouldn't be like you're shouting Happy Memorial Day to people. I don't
Yeah.
think. I don't know.
It's always weird about sales too. Everybody does Memorial Day sales, and I'm
Yeah.
always like, oh.
Kind of odd.
It's like remembering all the people who died in the Holocaust, and then you're like, hey, let's have a sale, or let's say Happy Remember the Holocaust. You just take your time, like you said, solemnly alone, and go like.
Would it be better if it was called something else? Would it be like better of like Happy Remembrance Day?
I think the crux of the matter is the problem. It's not really
Yeah.
a problem, but I'm saying you're
Just
remembering
interesting.
people that died in war.
Yeah.
So it's like there's no way to slice that cake.
Right.
It's a rock solid cake. So I think it's better just to be like, hey, let's just remember these people. Maybe we will have like a cookout thing, but not like, yeah, we got to have a cookout because this is the day off. Because that's what we do. We have
Right.
days
It's really
off.
not just a drink all weekend thing.
It's not
like
supposed to
that's
be.
what people do, but yeah, it's not really the intention was.
Right. 4th of
really.
July is like if somebody's like, I drank all 4th of July and partied all 4th of July. I'm like, okay.
That's the one you do it.
That's the one. But it's kind of like, yeah, Martin Luther King Day, Memorial Day. Let's drink all day.
Yeah.
Hey, but to each their own. If you're listening to this next Memorial Day, don't be offended.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I did not take the day off. So that was what I did. I worked.
You remembered that you had to work.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody else was at work or not.
Just you.
Well, me and two other
Working
people
hard
I
for
know
the money.
for sure. But I feel like maybe the rest of my team took the day off and I just didn't know.
You were bamboozled into working.
I don't know. I took off Friday. So that was
That's true,
nice.
you were
I
off
still had a
Friday.
3-day weekend. It was on the other side of it.
up front. You
I
took
did-
the money. Always take the money up front.
Yeah.
Half up front, half upon mastering.
Or if you can get all of it up front,
That's true too.
go for it.
Yeah.
What have you been up to? You were talking about Fender.
Yeah, I was doing Fender play. I've been trying to get better at the guitar and find out some holes I have in my bass playing skills and trying to make a lot of synth patches. Just trying to make a lot of stuff. Not putting songs together. Going through the archives, finding songs that I thought sucked and realized they're good so I can release them. That kind of stuff.
Archive releases.
From the depths of the sea.
Look out, y'all. They're coming.
That's right.
Like a tidal wave of awesome music.
Awesome music. JoshSpin.com.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we plug other things. We don't often plug your stuff.
We plugged my stuff
Sometimes.
like 12, 14 episodes ago.
Yeah.
By the way, I still don't know what episode this is. This is in the 20s or 30?
It might be 30 by now, but I think it
That would
might
be sad
29.
if it was 30. It's 20. If it's 29, the next episode we'll throw a bash. If it's 30 right now, that was my bash sound.
We still have an episode we haven't put up yet, so it's throwing the count off a little bit.
That's right.
I'm not quite sure where we are,
Secret episode.
but we need to put that episode up this week. So
Episode.
yeah, we'll get it all up there.
Get it
This
up.
is our last episode, guys. This is our last episode for Music May.
I was about to say for the month, not our last episode.
No, our last Music May episode. And we
May.
didn't even tell you what we watched yet, but you probably clicked on something that told you the name of the movie. So it's not a big surprise.
Or you just love us so much, you just listen.
You don't even care. You
don't even
blindly
care.
listened.
We could have changed the podcast.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'll listen to whatever.
But
All Memorial Day, all the time.
before we get into that, Josh's favorite segment.
Is it my favorite
I
segment?
don't know.
It is a segment.
It's a segment.
What we've been watching. Burp, burp, burp. What have we been watching?
So much stuff I don't even
We
know
watched
anymore.
Run. We watched the season finale of Run.
Yeah, we
That
finished
was
watching
insane.
Run. I'm back on board. I don't know if you remember a couple episodes ago.
I
was saying how
I told you.
I wasn't sure.
Impatience.
No, just
Impatience. Just
cool.
impatience.
maybe.
Well, just, I...
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was impatience. It was worry.
It's definitely a weird show.
Yeah.
It definitely doesn't go the direction I thought it would.
But I'm back on board and I can't wait for season 2.
And then
hopefully we'll get season 2.
Season 2, 2025.
Right.
Everybody has moved on.
Right.
Phoebe Walker-Bridge is like...
Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Whatever. She's retired, had like 3 kids.
She's kooky.
She works at a bank.
I like her. She's kooky.
Yeah.
I think this is the first thing I've maybe actually seen her in. I know she's got the other things
she's
did.
written, yeah. You've seen stuff she's written, like Killing Eve. You haven't seen Fleabag, right?
No, I haven't watched Fleabag.
Fleabag?
Yeah. Killing Eve, that's up next. I know it's not what we've been watching, but it's what we will be watching.
We watched the Rick and Morster yesterday as well, or today.
Rick and Morty, watched it today.
No John Oliver. Yeah, I don't remember. We just recorded a couple days ago, so there's nothing new.
Nothing new, guys.
From what we said before that's not out yet in the future past. X-Men.
We'll have more for you next episode.
Yeah, we'll watch a ton more other things.
Yeah.
That aren't the title of the episode. Sidetracks.
Right.
So yeah, let's get into this movie.
What, no outro?
I don't remember how I introed it.
You gotta.
What we've been watching.
Lovely. All right. We'll jump into the movie now. What did we watch?
We watched a bunch of pilgrims save the world.
They had the hats. They had the hats and the boots and the buckles.
Yeah.
That was their superpower.
It was the turkeys from South Park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we watched Scott Pilgrim versus the World. That's what we watched, guys.
Oh yeah, it is versus the world, not saves the world.
Right, versus the world.
And he
'Cause the
wasn't
whole
even
thing is
against
a
the world.
versus.
He wasn't really against the world.
he was just versusing the world. Everybody was coming at him.
Not everybody. There's a ton of people just standing around like goofs.
All right. Well, at
Like
least
when you watch those public freakout videos and people are just yelling in a store and everybody's just standing there.
at least 7 people came for him, but I think it was it 8 also? Do we count the girlfriend because she came at him at the end, right?
bit. Yeah. That's kind of 8.
So technically,
And then himself.
8, 9.
Wow.
You know,
Actually, we don't know if they fought.
they did just talk.
Mm.
It says at the end, he was like, "Oh, we just chatted, and we're gonna have brunch next week."
Chickadee chat.
So that was interesting. But first, let's get into this amazing IMDb
synopsis.
All right. Scott Pilgrim must defeat his new girlfriend's 7 evil exes in order to win her heart.
Yeah.
One sentence, but I think it covers it.
That was a much better job.
So, IMDb, that was another one sentence. That was a very short one sentence. But I'm going to give this one to you. I don't mind it.
Or to IMDb?
To IMDb.
Oh, you looked at me when you said that. I was like, what do I have to say?
Giving you credit for IMDb's work.
I could have done it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been asked to do all sorts of things.
I remember seeing this movie.
Mm-hmm.
When
Didn't
it
we
came
see this
out,
movie?
Probably.
It
yes.
was 2010. So.
Okay. So we saw this movie, I assume in the theater. And I do remember I liked it. I just don't remember if I enjoyed it as much as I did just now.
Why do you think that is?
I just don't remember. I'm trying to think back. I remember liking it, but I was it's like a oddly joyful movie. Like I just really enjoyed it. I think I was smiling and laughing the whole time.
Smaffing?
Smaffing, yes.
It's the new thing. It's like smize.
Yeah.
But for comedy.
But with your mouth.
Yeah. Smaffing.
Yeah.
Smaffing all day.
Smaffing.
We went on a walk. We're smaffing.
Yeah.
What's good?
Yeah.
I liked it just as much. I liked it the first time I watched it. And I liked it this time. It took me a second to get back into like 2010 in a way. But I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Got you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I just don't know if I caught all the little things the first time.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
And, which we can go into in a second, the casting, I definitely did not have the same reaction to casting then as I did this time because the cast I was like, dang, that person's in this movie? That person's in this movie?
Yeah, it was literally just Michael Cera.
That person's in this movie?
That was the only person.
Yeah.
Everybody else was like, who's that?
Exactly. Everybody else is a bunch of unknowns, or quote unquote, whatever.
Yeah.
And now this movie is just full of A-listers, basically. Chock full. Oh, no. The phrase is star-studded. That's what they say.
Like diamond encrusted.
This is a star-studded film now.
What's that thing that you do with the
Bedazzled?
shirts? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a star bedazzled movie.
Yeah. So
that's right.
I guess we could just name off a couple people. Well, the big names that were in it is Michael Cera, Aubrey Plaza. Who else?
Brie Larson.
Brie Larson. Macaulay Culkin's brother.
Yeah. Kieran Culkin is now on Succession. And Chris Evans, who is obviously in the MCU, deep in it.
Yeah. Oh, Anna Kendrick. Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Yep.
Which by name, I didn't really recognize her, but then I checked her IMDb and I realized why I know her face, and it's because she was in Birds of Prey and a bunch of other things. But most recently, I saw Birds of Prey.
B.O.P.
Jason Schwartzman.
Shout out to our Birds of Prey episode. Check it out.
Go rewind a couple episodes. Check that one out. So anyway, that's a big cast.
Yep.
For not knowing that they were all going to be big.
I would say also Jason Schwartzman.
Yeah, he was already big, huh?
Yeah, I was like, oh, Jason Schwartzman.
Yeah.
That's very hard to say fast.
So, Ellen Wong. Mm-hmm. She's also not somebody I know by name, but when I check, she's in stuff I've watched. Yeah. So I know her face kind of.
Baby.
Yeah. So, she's great. But yeah. Do we want to get into some did you knows?
Yeah. Let's know that we did juice.
All right. Here's what I have for you. This movie, okay, I'm not giving you guys the whole Wikipedia page, but you should check it out. I need to go back and read the rest of what I didn't. I just skimmed some of it because it's very long and there's a lot
2%.
going on with this movie. So I have a bunch of facts, but I don't have them all. So go check out the Wikipedia. It's pretty interesting. So, speaking of cast, did you know?
Yes.
The cast spent 2 months in fight training together.
That would be,
Makes
that's
sense.
a good idea.
Right. And Michael Cera said that he got kicked in the throat during the training and he expected it to be excruciating, but it didn't hurt at all, which was really confusing.
He must have a robot throat. I one time tried to do a bike trick off of a dirt mound and landed with the wheel sideways and the, what's it called? Handlebar went
got
into
in
my
the
throat. It was one of the worst feelings I've ever had. And I thought I was dead.
Yeah. I don't know why it didn't hurt at all. But also that was a quote from him.
It's Michael Cera for you.
Sounds like Michael Cera.
Totally.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And also with the cast, they they have a band, Scott Pilgrim and his buddies are in a band called Sex Bob Bombs.
Bob Bombs?
Bob Bombs.
Something like that.
So
Or
anyway,
Bobs. Sex Bob Bombs?
Bob Bombs. It's like BOB-OMBS.
Oh, okay. It was hard for me to read. I was like, does
Bob-
it say Sex Bob Bombs?
Yeah, Bob Bombs.
Bob Bobs?
So anyway,
Sex kebabs.
the actors had to learn to play their instruments.
Good.
Do you know why? Most likely Michael Cera played bass.
Because that's the only thing he could do?
Because that's what he already played.
Oh.
He already played bass, so I'm assuming he was like, I'll take bass. But the drummer...
I remember seeing that Rickenbacker and I was like, I want that Rickenbacker. And I
Was
wasn't
that-
even playing bass at the time. The bass he was playing.
Oh, yeah?
It's a Rickenbacker.
Oh, okay.
It weighs like 10,000 pounds.
Looked heavy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so they had to do that. They had to learn their stuff. Oh, and also band-wise, they used the other bands that they were in the Battle of the Bands with were real bands from Toronto.
Yeah.
They'd spent a lot of time on the music.
Repping Toronto.
Yeah, they actually spent a lot of time repping Toronto. Like they were really proud of making this movie in Toronto, but like the band wise, they wanted to let real talent be seen. So those weren't their real band names, but those were real bands.
Right. Were they playing the real music or music written by, what was his name? Noel, whatever. The guy who wrote all the music.
I think they were playing music written by the guy. But they were real bands.
A real band.
And Beck wrote all the music for the Bob-Ombs.
Yeah, I remember thinking that because I remember when I first saw Michael Cera, I was like, he's Beck. And then when this movie came out, I was like, he's now even more Beck.
He's very Beck.
And then now I'm thinking he needs to do a biopic of Beck.
You think Beck would want a biopic?
I think he would think it was funny. I don't know if he would be involved, but he would definitely be like,
I'm going to sit back and see what happens.
yeah, why not? He's like, why not? I'll see what's up.
Well, it said that Beck knew that the music just needed to be silly and it didn't really need to be good.
Right.
Like good.
Right. You don't have to overdo it. Be like,
Yeah.
I'm a multi-platinum Grammy-winning artist, so I
Right.
need to make sure that this music shows that I'm that. It's just like, just have fun music. You don't have to.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Nigel Godrich.
Mm-hmm.
I can't spell or read. Yeah, he's the man behind the curtain for Radiohead.
Oh, yeah. So, there was a lot of musical influence. And it only took Beck 2 days to write the songs for Bob Bombs. 2 days, write and record. Yeah. I think those are all the music did you knows I have.
Music you know.
Yeah, I have stuff about the comic book writer.
Oh, yeah, because it's based on a comic book.
It is based on a comic book, so when Josh pitched this movie for Music May.
Ooh, when I pitched it. I like how that sounds. It sounds like I'm doing real work.
Had no idea this was a music movie from my memory. My first impression was, I kept saying, isn't that a video game movie? And he said, well, comic book, but yes.
You were like, isn't Yasmin Bialik in here or whatever?
Right.
And then the girl grows up and she has cancer and dies.
What?
I'm like, that's Beaches.
I have never seen Beaches,
Sad.
so
If you
there.
want to cry, watch Beaches.
I do not, so I will not. Yeah. So I'm not really I'm not really one of those like, I really want to cry tonight. Let me watch a sad movie.
No, it's not like you want to cry per se. It's just like you want to see something that means something, and then you end up crying.
Well, I can just watch Titanic or something, like, you know. Anyway, let me get back to what I was saying.
Get back to it.
So the guy O'Malley, I forgot his first name. O'Malley wrote the comic book.
Mm-hmm.
So after the first book, or whatever they call it, the first
installment,
yeah,
series,
something, they have a different word for it. The first one, his publisher was like, "Hey, let's get this made into a movie," and I was like, "Oh, I don't know." And this publisher was like, "Yeah, we're gonna sell this." He's like, "They're probably just gonna put like some actor I hate into it, and they're gonna do something stupid with it, and I won't like it. But also, I need money, so sure, whatever." So
isn't that everyone's life?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to deal with these yahoos. They suck, but I need money, so I guess.
Yeah. So he's like, "Yeah, okay." So basically, we have this movie because he just wanted to get paid. That's fine.
He sold out, man.
But he was very involved in the script and all that, and
That's
working.
good.
Yeah. So the three of them, the director, the writer of the script, and then him, all worked pretty much together to get it. And he rewrote some of the lines, and then some of the stuff in the movie, I think, made it into the comic books, because I guess there's 6 of them.
It's
There's 6
symbiotic.
installments. Yeah. So, but the second draft, which became the main draft for the movie, was handed in at midnight as the writer's strike started.
Nice.
Like I guess the writer's strike was starting at like 12:01 or whatever, or
Right.
midnight. And so they finished the script right then. And then I don't know what happened. This movie, I think they kicked it off in 2007, and it didn't come out until 2010.
When did they finish filming?
Well, technically they had to reshoot the ending 3 months before the movie dropped.
Why was it a sad ending?
The original ending for the movie was that he got back together with Knives.
Oh, I couldn't remember exactly. I was like, well, is he going to get back together with Knives?
Yeah.
Why'd they change that?
Because it didn't test well. And also the comic books don't end that way.
Oh.
So they were like, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess you're right, comic book guy." Like, we'll do your ending.
Duly noted.
Yeah, we'll do your ending. So that's the route they went. But there were a couple other endings. He could have been a serial killer that was imagining all those fights, but I guess really killing
Fight
those
Club.
people. Yeah.
In front of everyone?
That's not fun either. I don't know.
They're like, who was the guy? Like, I don't know. And like, wasn't it your roommate? Oh, yeah, it
That's
was.
definitely a different tone for the movie.
They should remake it and do that.
And do that one?
too. Yeah.
And then another potential ending had Gideon turning into a transformer robot.
Which one was Gideon again? The
Schwartzman.
Schwartzman.
Yeah. The big boss.
That would. I wish that's what we watched. We watched the Kimmy Schmidt interactive. I really wish someone would invest a lot of money into a real interactive thing where they literally film 3 different endings and a bunch of different big changes. So if you wanted some sadistic ending or a sweet ending or whatever, like you could shape that movie into that.
Oh, I wish they had let us just make all the bad choices. Like, exactly like you're saying. Like, just go ahead and film the whole thing with all the different endings. And I wish they would have done that, because I really wanted to see like how all our bad choices actually played out.
Yeah, I wish a lot of movies would give us the alternate endings or whatever.
What was this Butterfly Effect? Didn't we watch the alternate ending to that? And
Yeah.
it was super weird.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, kind of glad they didn't go that way.
Yeah, I just wish movies would just bake it into their, I guess now, digital form.
Right.
I guess you could have done that on DVD, but everything's digital now. So yeah, the movie, it's funny because you were thinking it was a video game movie.
Which I'm not wrong.
Which, no, you're not wrong. And I was like, it's a music movie, but then I started kind of, before we watched it, I was kind of like, oh, there are video game elements in there. And so I don't know if that comes from the comic book or whatever, but I thought that was cool to blend a lot of elements together in the movie. I think the biggest thing about the movie was I felt like the DP, the editor, and the special effects people were the hardest working people in the
Oh,
movie.
yeah, for sure.
Because setting up, like in the beginning of the movie, it's almost like how most movies, I watched a video talking about back in the day, they used to do a lot of wide shots, long wide shots. And so the film was, that's why films to us now are boring from like the 60s, 70s, earlier. And now there's a bunch of short close-up shots. And I feel like Scott Pilgrim was that. Like, it was a bunch of short close-up shots, even though they were all sorts of long, short, medium shots, but in different locations each time. So instead of cutting to a guy and then cutting closer and cutting to another person, it was like cutting to him in the diner, then cutting to him walking, then cutting to him at home, then cutting to him somewhere else, then cutting to him. And it was like, in 1 minute, it was like 12 locations.
Right.
I'm like, wow, that's a lot of setup. That's a lot of, takes and cuts and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of takes.
And
yeah, like the editing is like...
Yeah, because you got to put that together and make it smooth and make sure everything kind of works together. And then obviously all the special effects that happen, all the coins that fell. It makes me think of Jesus and Mero, the sonic rings.
Oh, yeah, the sonic rings. Well, I read the hardest fight sequence to film was the first one in the club with
with the dude.
Patel, yeah.
That's funny. His scene was, I felt like, the weakest. Yeah. It was comical, but his singing was so kind of off. It was just kind of like, oh, that's kind of off. It wasn't like, haha, that's kind of off. It was just like, That even in joke land, it's kind of weird. Kind of vibe.
I was gonna name like the boyfriends, or the exes, but I only gave him. I got caught up in the movie with the rest of it.
Sleepy, dopey, druggy.
No, I just wrote down boy band boyfriend because he had all those moves.
Right.
He was like shaking everything and had like little boy band dance moves.
That brings me to another thought, which was, it was kind of interesting. I think the thing I was thinking about 2010 about it was the
the computer.
Well, yeah. Well, what was funny is that Amazon was still running the game, or was already running the game. Like, there was a big, I don't know if Amazon paid to be in the movie,
right? But
they were like, "Hey, you can order it off of Amazon."
Well, but he was like, "Hey, how do I get to Amazon?" Because it was Canada. Amazon.ca.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why he said that.
And then the really funny thing about Amazon was he's like, "Are you going to sit there and wait for the package to come?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "The package isn't going to be mailed till Monday." And I was like, "Oh yeah, package." They used to actually wait to ship things at normal times, to where now they're making people ship stuff to you like, be there by 8 p.m.
So drop something off at 8 p.m. on a Sunday night.
Yeah, even though some of those people don't do it. They're like, "Oh, I couldn't get in the door," or whatever. Liars. I know you're out there with my packages, waiting another day or two because you're lazy, you want to smoke a bowl.
I always get my stuff.
They always not bring mine.
But Origins is the one. Those are the ones they deliver like 9 p.m., ring the doorbell, scare the crap out of me.
Origins is through Amazon?
And then I have no idea.
Oh.
And then they just drop the thing and run off.
What was funny too is she dropped off the Amazon package. So I was like, has Amazon always used random people to deliver Amazon packages?
Well, remember the girl said, "Oh, she just moved here. She's working at Amazon now."
I know, but I'm just saying, I didn't know until like 4 years ago that Amazon was delivering packages themselves.
Oh.
I always thought it was sent through the Postal Service.
Oh, yeah.
Or UPS or whatever.
I guess so.
So I never knew that. I've just recently found out that any random person can be handling your packages.
Well, I mean, that's how it goes anyway.
Yeah, but at least the person's been kind of vetted through the Postal Service. They had to do some sort of training, and it's a federal thing, whereas Amazon's just
That's how FedEx is? Isn't FedEx the same thing? It's just...
Yeah, but they're also trained, but I just feel like Amazon is...
Okay.
Amazon's like
Uber
to
Eats?
Me, yeah, it is very much like Uber. It's just kind of like, yeah, we have employees, but not really.
They might eat your fries when they bring your food to you.
Yeah,
but,
it's like, yeah, It's like, all I care about is that my head stays shiny and bald and I become the first, was he a trillionaire? Yeah, trillionaire.
He's working on it.
He's working on it. He's trying to do it. He's like, between this coronavirus and Memorial Day, I'm going to make a bunch of money and be a trillionaire.
Oh, no.
All I know is, Jeff, you will never go to space. Elon will beat you.
Ooh.
You heard it here, folks.
Fighting words.
Put that up on Bloomberg. Random guy who has a tiny podcast said this.
Right.
So that guy couldn't sing. Let's see. Oh, we didn't talk about the obvious thing. The movie starts with pedophilia.
What?
Well, that's not true.
No.
It starts with questionable decisions that could have led to it. It's kind of like in Dead to Me, while that cop is just like staring at them the whole time and waiting for them to mess up. It's kind of like that situation.
Yes.
Nothing has happened yet, but you're also like, let me keep an eye on this situation.
So he's 22, right?
Yeah.
And she's 17.
Yeah.
Soon to be 18.
She's only 17. And sadly, you know what I mean.
Yeah. But they hadn't even kissed.
Never been kissed?
They had not kissed. They had not held hands.
She had never kissed anyone.
Or maybe, yeah, she's never kissed anybody.
She never kissed anybody. They hadn't held hands.
They had like hugged or something.
Yeah, they hugged.
And they had a mean Dance Revolution.
They were deep in the DDR.
Right. Team dance off going on.
Team dance. Yeah, I thought that was a little strange. I think that's one of the other things I was like kind of... There was two things besides Amazon. It was the some of the race jokes and then some of the kind of close to pedophilia adjacent stuff. I was like, wow, I don't know if in this day and age they would be like, you need to change the beginning and she needs to be at least turning 18 by like 10 minutes into the movie. Because I think nowadays people would be like, no.
But I think that was like a big part of like, that was like everybody made fun of him for it. And like, it was like a whole thing.
They still could have made fun of him for it. But I think there would have been some sort of compromise that she needs to be turning 18 because it just seems eerie.
Yes.
Not that anything's going on. It just seemed eerie.
I did think she was going to turn 18 somewhere in the movie.
Yeah, because she talked about her birthday party.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. And then it was like, she's still 17. I was like, oh. So, not knocking on you people who dated 17-year-olds. I know a few of them, but that just wasn't my cup of tea. And it's always been like, interesting. But you do you, man. If you're 46 and she's 43.
Well, 46 and 43 is fine.
That's what I'm saying. But you guys met when you were
right.
18 and 22 or whatever. It's like, I know I'm not going to say names. Let's move on. Culkin was great. He was the same person.
He was great.
As he was in Succession.
Yeah, that's what I said in the middle of the movie. I said, oh, this character grew up and became... This is the same character from Succession, just before.
It's kind of funny because all these characters are the exact same characters they've been or have been. So Michael Cera was a better version of George Michael. Like he was, because he fought for one. So he had some sort of like backbone and all that type of stuff. He played an instrument, so he had more confidence than George Michael.
Right.
But
Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza played, the same character she's always played. Almost meaner than some ways than some of the other ones.
Culkin was the
Culkin was
Succession.
May was like kind of bratty ish. Like she was in Parenthood from time to time, and
I guess her character would have been like her Parenthood is Mae Whitman. Her Parenthood character times like 57.
Yeah, like really over the top,
right?
And also she was no nonsense. She was like that in Parenthood,
right?
She was like, I'm doing this. I don't
Maybe
care what
she's like that now on Good Girls. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know what kind of character she plays.
We got to watch Good Girls.
But I love Mae Whitman.
And then Brie Larson's.
But Brie Larson.
She's a star now, so that worked out. She was playing a star.
Okay. I was wondering how you were going to.
No, I'm just saying.
I didn't even know that was Brie Larson most of the way through the movie. I actually wrote down, who is this girl? I was going to. Exactly. Who is she? I wrote down her character's name so I could look it up after the movie ended. And then somewhere in there you said Brie Larson something something. Was that her singing?
I don't know if that was her singing, but yes, that was her.
Probably. I'm
Yeah,
going to say
maybe.
yes.
Sure.
I'm sure I could look it up, but I'm going to say yes. Who else?
Yeah, that's all I can think of right now. Oh yeah, Chris Pine, right?
No, I kept thinking Chris Pine. Chris Evans.
Chris Evans. Oh my goodness. Didn't they do that? They did that on Jesus and Mero. They put Chris Pine, Chris Evans, and then
there's
they were
too
like,
many
I don't know
Chris's.
which one's which. He's kind of like if The Rock was to make fun of himself, like the character he was playing in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like that. So it's not really Chris Evans, but Chris Evans did become a huge movie star. So that, like him and Brie, that kind of worked out. The MCU kind of.
I think this movie came just after Fantastic Four. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. I thought you were going to say Mr. Fox.
No, Fantastic Four had just come out.
The Fantastic
Is that
Four?
right?
The Fantastic Four?
Is that what's called? Why doesn't it sound right?
It sounded weird when you said Fantastic Four, and I was like,
We've
Fantastic?
been having all these conversations lately of when to say the.
Oh yeah, he played
and
he played
Lightning Bolt or something.
Yeah, he played.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was never big into
Didn't watch those.
I was more of a Plastic Man than anything.
Lantern. I don't know what he was. He was one of those.
Green Lantern. It's so funny how many superheroes were previous superheroes. Like they were this guy, and then they became that guy in the same universe or other universes.
Well, wait, who did he become?
What are you talking about? He became Captain America.
No, that's not Captain America.
Who is he then?
Is it?
Yeah, so I was saying he's Captain America. If not, then I really can't tell chiseled,
all the Chris's,
thin Chris Caucasian men apart.
It is Chris Evans.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
He
Don't
looks
make
so
me
different.
doubt myself. He barely looked different. All he had was the early 2000s thin beard tee thing.
You know what it is I would be Lois Lane because taking like
Go ahead.
Taking off putting on glasses would very much trick me. Because it's just Captain America's like blonde and whatever, and he wasn't blonde in this movie. So it didn't look like Captain America.
Somebody posted, I think it was on Reddit, there were glasses on a table, and then he goes, "This is Lois Lane," going, "Oh my goodness, Clark, your table." Something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's him.
Okay. Glad we sorted that out.
One of the things, I think we've been talking forever, so we probably have to, let's just see. Let's cut this out. Oh yeah, we've been talking 40 minutes. We've gotten into nothing.
Oh man, there's a lot. This movie is deep. This movie had a lot going on.
Okay, so let's jump into stuff. Yeah, this movie was just crazy, and I remember all the, like we were saying, all the special effects and all the numbers and coins and weird blur effects and all the stuff like that. I was like, wow, and all the fighting and rigging and all that stuff. I was like, there's a lot of work put into this movie, especially for it to be a random comic book, at least from my point of view. I don't know how many they sold. And even when you have a huge selling comic book, that doesn't mean that you should spend millions upon millions of dollars on it.
Yeah. They did. They spent a lot of money. I think Universal spent 60 million. I was about to say 60,000. No, it had a huge budget, but there was a lot of filming rebates they got. So it brought the actual budget down. Yeah, so it brought the actual budget down.
They went to a Ford dealership.
Yeah.
They're like, you get 10% off. You don't pay for 6 months and $5,000 cash
I think
back.
it's some like Universal chipped in 60 million or something. I don't know. It was some crazy numbers. But then sadly, it was a box office bomb.
Was it?
Yeah. I don't know what they made, but it didn't do well box office.
Good movie.
But ratings did well. Yeah. So that's like one of those like, oh, bummer. Like,
ratings don't pay the bills.
I guess nobody saw it, but the people who did really liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many things. I think that the coolest thing, the funny thing that I liked about the movie was just all the one-liners.
Oh yeah.
Which I kind of attribute to the other writer because he wrote 21 and 22 Jump Street and Project X. And he might be doing the new Weird Science, which Minty mentioned. He was like, no, not a reboot. But if this guy does it, it might be good. But I read down a couple of these. Wow, a girl number.
Oh yeah.
That was funny. And then the first time when he defeated the first guy, he goes, sweet coins. And she's like, yeah, too bad bread makes you fat. He goes, bread makes you fat? Oh, quarantine.
All his revelations were so great.
And then he said, and Mae Whitman's character, she goes, you punched me in the boob.
I missed that one.
I've hit so many women in the boob by mistake. It's insane. I hit a friend of mine. I forgot what was happening. I think I was just like pointing or something like that. I hit was Bernie. I just hit her. I just pointed like straight into her boob, and then she looked at me, and we both just laughed. And I was like, "Sorry." She was like, "It's okay."
Sometimes it just happens.
And then I think I was riding the Judge Roy Scream at Six Flags Over Texas, and it was going backwards that year.
Okay.
And we were like, oh, and then my arm went down and I elbowed a chick in the boob. She was like, my boob.
That's painful.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Well, one of my favorite things that he said, because this was like his catchphrase was, or whatever and stuff. Everything was and stuff.
Jeez, Rick, whatever and stuff.
Whatever and stuff. I guess so, and stuff. It was always and stuff at the end of it.
And then it's that one chick, she goes, oh yeah, I forgot. She's done a couple of things, but the drummer, she's been a couple of things. But I can
Kim
remember. Allen. She says, all our shows are secret shows. And I was like, yep, been there.
Oh, the life of a musician.
And it said, you were once vegan, now you're vegan. Or something
he said you were once vegan.
Oh yeah, vegan.
Now you will be gone. Yeah. Amazing.
Vegan.
I said her name wrong. It's Allison Pill. I don't know what I just called her.
What a pill.
Yeah. Oh, you have more.
I think it's something along these lines. You're pretentious. This club sucks. I got beef, or something like that. When he was talking to the big boss at the end. I was like, oh
yeah, he just marched in and was like, this club sucks. Right? You're pretentious. I got beef. Let's fight.
That's funny. The second time when he died and he had the 1-up life, it just reminded me of every video game where you die a bunch of times and you're like, I know what to do. I know exactly what to do this time.
It is.
And then you just go in and you're like,
it. Yeah.
You're like, bam, bam, bam. And he's like, are you ready? I'm like, yes, I know where your weakness is. I'm just going to punch you in the stomach 3 times. And then that's it. Because for the last 3 hours, I didn't realize that there was a glowing emerald on your stomach. And for some reason, I didn't punch it. It was like a glowing square also.
That's like me and you playing the Mario game. Mario. Odyssey? Mario. No. Mario. Let us know, people.
Yeah.
Do you say Mario or do you say?
I know Joe DeRosa says Mario.
You're supposed to say it Mario.
Yeah.
It's not like you're getting married.
You could be.
It's a name. It's Mario.
Whenever he finds Princess Peach, we're gonna get married.
Well, like when we play that game and we die a bunch of times and then we're like telling each other, okay, this time go left and da-da-da-da, and it's about to do this and it's about to do that. And one of those levels that are really hard. That was
'tis true.
A cool story, bro.
Mario.
You got any more one-liners?
No, that's it. That's it. Those are the one-liners.
Who was your favorite character? If you can name one. Not Scott Pilgrim.
Ooh. No, not Scott.
Not Scott. One of the other guys.
I would say Knives.
Yes, Knives was amazing.
I like Knives, and then I liked Pill's character.
Culkin. Oh, okay.
And
the
Culkin.
Drummer.
I just, all the people that were just kind of snarky or had like quick little things.
What was Knives' deal? She had so much energy and all her screaming and everything. Ah! And then she like flew herself on the bed.
Was she a manga character?
I think she had to audition for this role multiple times.
What?
And I don't think they were really thinking about her until they found out that she had like some taekwondo, whatever color belt, and she could actually fight.
She was like, I know Taekwondo. I'm Asian. They're we're not going to check her on that.
They liked the fact that she looked so small and so sweet.
Oh.
But that she could also fight. So they liked the duality of her.
Like edibles.
What?
Small and sweet, and they pack a lot of power.
I guess. That was a really random reference.
That's what I do.
Okay.
That's my only power. That's my superpower.
But she was one of my favorites also. I loved her character. And then I also felt for her. But she came back in the end and it was fine.
She did.
She handled her business. She was a little cry, but it was fine. And then also, obviously, Culkin.
Yeah, he was good.
So those were my two favorite.
Two faves.
Yeah.
Two faves. I want to deconstruct this movie.
Okay.
A little bit. I know we've been jacking around for funs, but I want to get into some feelings.
What? Just now?
Yeah. I think this movie, I see this movie. I don't know what the intent of the movie was, but I think this movie was an exploration into obviously the hardships and the troubles and all the things you have to go through in relationships, but how one person's relationship baggage affects the person that they end up with. Because everything that she had done or had done to her affected him, and he had to deal with that by fighting all of them. Yeah. Which is just like almost every relationship. Like every relationship you come in contact with has the baggage of previous relationships, whether it's bosses or girlfriend, boyfriend, or whatever, preachers, whatever, in-laws. They're all based on your past experiences. So if you've had like 4 bad bosses, that boss is kind of gonna have to work through your stuff to be able to communicate with you and to have a relationship with you, even if they don't want to.
Right, because you have all this built up preconceived notions of other people, and then all the defenses you've built up to protect yourself, or new coping mechanisms, and that could have made you like more confident or made you shy or fearful or whatever. And then that's every new relationship kind of has to unpack some of that.
So that was the thing that I kind of thought about this movie. I was like, every relationship has baggage, and the person who really has to deal with the baggage is the one who has to deal with the person they're getting in the relationship with.
The new person.
Of course, obviously that the person who went through it has to, but I've been in situations where I get you're just like my dad. I'm like, how that sounds gross. Like, what are you talking about? That sounds gross. First of all, you're talking nonsense. So, yeah.
Well, and then also at the end, there was a little bit of realization that you have to deal with your own baggage too, because she said, I'm tired of people getting hurt because of me. Right. Or, yeah, I think that's what she said. And he was like, I'm okay. She's like, I'm not just talking about you. So I assume she was talking about herself as well, that she would continually be hurt by her past. And she didn't want that anymore.
You know what?
What?
Scott Pilgrim thought, I always thought it was me versus the world, till I found it's me versus me. Because that's how it ends. He has to face himself.
Exactly.
She has to face herself.
Exactly.
The only thing that was a little bit different about her is her approach is always to leave.
Yes.
Which
it was to run.
In some cases, that's great. In some cases, it's not. But she had done that twice in an hour and a half. So yeah, it was interesting that she was just like, I'm going to go. I'm like, well, you could stay and kind of like work through this thing with him.
But I guess all her exes were dead at this point.
Yeah, I'm like, it's actually the perfect situation.
So she really could move on. Yeah.
I'm like, she could literally just work on that relationship. All that other stuff is gone.
I think though she left because she thought he was going to get back together with Knives.
Knives.
She was like, oh, you guys are such a great team.
They were. They should start a business together, but not be together.
Right.
Because she's only 17.
You know what I mean.
The cops are coming to your apartment.
If you guys could see it.
I wouldn't run from another. Po-po. and I was put behind bars. Yeah, so I think that was the big thing I kind of got out of the movie, out of all the silliness and all the fun.
There's some
I wonder if that was there. He did get he got a heart sword when he came out and he said, I love you.
Yes. And he got the even more powerful self-respect sword.
That's right.
But
respect
speaking
yourself.
Oh, hey, what about the washing the hands scene?
Oh yeah, that was funny. He just, what did he do?
He
went to the bathroom like for 4 seconds.
The pee bar.
No shakes.
No.
Nothing.
Walked away.
Just walked away. I don't even think he zipped up his pants. I don't think he put anything away.
I don't think he took anything out. I think he just walked in there.
He did it. I guess
the pee bar showed up.
But I think that speaks to video games because you're not gonna do the animation. It's just you go into the bathroom,
right?
Pee happens,
right?
And you go. But yeah, he
turned on the water, sort of stuck his hands in the water,
twinkled his fingers in the water, and then he wiped his hand. Right? He wiped his hands.
But he shook him out, and then he wiped one hand for a split second on one towel, one on another towel, and barely touched them,
right.
and then left the bathroom.
That's how you get COVID, people. That's pretty much how I see people using the bathroom at MI. They're just kind of like,
yuck.
And I'm like, gross.
Gross.
I need to wear gloves everywhere. I'm gonna get long gloves once we're out.
Opera gloves?
I'm gonna get
lady
long
gloves?
and I'm gonna have a long cigarette stick. I'm gonna say, get away from me.
I don't smoke.
Say, you need to be this far away from me to talk to me, and the cigarette sticks out.
Yeah. A 6-foot cigarette stick. It'd be made of straws maybe, so it would be easy to balance.
I don't want a car to hit it and knock my teeth out.
Right.
I'll just dress up as a penguin once we all get out of this COVID thing. Like, wah, wah.
Okay.
So, watch Scott Pilgrim. There's a lot of stuff in there.
Already.
We didn't even get to a ton of it because there's just so many things. And like and subscribe, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that stuff. Instagram, sometimes Twitter. I got hiccups.
Sometimes Twitter.
Very rarely Twitter. I post to Twitter. Michelle doesn't.
I don't. I forget we have a Twitter.
Forgets. Patreon. Shout out to Ben Merritt. He allowed us to get Apple TV for this past month because we actually forgot the 7-day trial ran out. So that $5 will go towards Apple TV. We saw Homes on there. It was really great.
Oh, yeah, it's a great show.
Great show. It makes me very sad that I am
have
not an architect or didn't stay in the web design and try to rise up the ranks so I could build my own home out of wood.
Yeah.
With a terrarium inside or whatever. Bunch of other stuff. Check out Apple TV. They're not sponsoring us, but if they did, we'd be saying the same thing.
We'll take your money.
Yeah, we'll always take your money. Patreon.com/HeyWhatYouSawMovie. Guys, enjoy yourselves.
Been fun.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Don't go outside unless you need to.
Watch movies.
Pay attention to your mom or your dad or your legal guardian or your spouse or that small dot on the wall that has been talking to you and telling you.
Stay home. Coins.